Mostly what I do, Steve, is build confidence. People are really afraid of connecting. They don't know what to say to a woman. Just engage. A smile and an interest, a compliment, an encouragement, what everyone wants when they walk through that door, no matter what. This is what they want. They want someone to be nice to them, and they want a good deal. And that's what you got to do. Okay, Wikipedia lists me as one of the 25 most famous prostitutes of the 20th century. Can you believe that?
Hey, Amy, welcome to the show.
Hi, Steve. It's so good to be here. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Now, look, I'd already said before you came on that we've got the only Air Force Amy. Now, I can't introduce you any better than you can. So let's grab the attention. Air Force Amy, who are you? What do you do? Where do you work?
Steve, I'm Air Force Amy. That's my stage name. And when I like go into a relationship or something, I say, I got to tell you something. I have a stage name. It's Air Force Amy, and she's the most famous prostitute in the world. Legal prostitute. Okay, Wikipedia lists me as a famous, one of the most 25 most famous prostitutes of the 20th century. Can you believe that?
Wow. Okay. Well, there you go. Look, I always believe if you're going to do something, be the best at it. So, all right. So congratulations for grabbing that attention. You work at the world famous Bunny Ranch in Reno, Nevada. How long have you been there?
Steve, I've been at the Bunny Ranch for 23 years. I've worked in the legal brothel industry in Nevada for 33 years. I hooked up with Dennis Hoff in the year 2000, and we started shooting the Cat House series in 2003. And I like to say I kind of helped put the Bunny Ranch name on the map. I'm kind of synonymous to the Bunny Ranch, like Domino's is to pizza, and synonymous actually to the industry. Air Force Amy is the Nevada legal brothel industry, like it or not.
Now, I remember actually with my wife seeing and watching the Cat House. We really enjoyed the show. The show was actually a really cool, funny, engaging show that had very little to do with the sex industry and more had to do with the characters. So that was wonderful there. It was a real insight into why people went to the legal sex industry, what their inhibitions were, what they were hoping to get, what they really wanted. And then I think it was maybe 5 years ago, with Alice Little, we actually did a tour with one of our speakeasy groups. We had just left the Gigafactory, and this was my thread. In the morning, I was going to take him to the newest industry in the world, which was, his Gigafactory, Elon Musk's Gigafactory. And then in the afternoon, I would have them visit the oldest industry in the world. And that's where me and you met. So we met, you gave me a book, and I've still got your book. I love your book on quotes. But the one thing I want to crack into quickly is that so many kind of thoughts, perceptions were just abolished as we walked through there and we got to speak to the different people within the room. We're in a world today where we've never been more connected, but never been more disconnected. Hey, I'm sorry for interrupting this podcast. I know it's a brilliant one. But I wanted to talk to you about your room, your connections. Now, we know full well that great things come from great connections and great rooms. Now, if you're in a room full of people that will challenge you, inspire you, motivate you, and support you, then great. But if not, then maybe I have the solution for you. Head on over to stevedsims.com, look up Sims Distillery there, and join our community of creative disruptors, those that are only not there to help you and motivate and actually give you information, but to support and answer questions. We very much vet the room to make sure that we support each other's growth. We all want each other to grow. So if you want to be in the right room, head on over to stevedsims.com/Sims Distillery, and I'll see you inside my room. Enjoy the rest of the show. And we're in a situation where most men are actually terrified. Now, let's be serious. I know I was pretty useless chatting up my wife. It was abysmal. But we're scared now to speak to someone. You can't walk up to someone and go, oh, you look nice today, for fear they're going to turn around and go, well, I didn't dress for you. Why are you judging me? And we go through that. How have you seen the Bunny Ranch change as this new woke, judgy, cancelled, gotcha society world evolves?
Well, Steve, that's a great point. When I started out 30 years ago, it was $50 a half and half, but you were fired. And it was we saw 20 guys a day. Some of them were politicians, kids, but and it was a quick roll in the hay. Now we're building relationships, and you're exactly right. Men are terrified. I can remember 20 years ago, and it just felt like it was a party. Like guys were coming in and they were partying, and maybe because I was younger and I attracted more younger people, and we partied, and I was partying, and we just partied. But now you're absolutely right. People are really afraid of connecting. They don't know what to say to a woman. Um, I see a lot of not even just virgins, but guys that I call it back in the saddle. So you've been in a relationship for 15, 20 years, and you're getting back out in the dating scene. Where do you start? Where do you start? So I just like to give advice. I'm really going to give advice, and pillow advice is my favorite. We can talk, and I like to say I can get more done in an hour than a therapist can get done in a year on so many different topics. When it comes to relationships, when it comes to intimacy, when it comes to connecting, when it comes to our young guys. When we first went to Afghanistan, I saw a lot of guys coming back from the war with shell shock. So it just seems whatever our society is going through, we learn how to navigate it, and mostly what I do, Steve, is build confidence. So a guy's going to come in, and I'm going to make him, he's going to get his confidence back, or gain confidence. And when he leaves, he's got a pep in his step, and he's ready to go talk to, get out there in the dating scene. Right now, I see a lot of gentlemen that they want me to be I'm their online girlfriend. So they may have an appointment 6 months from now, but we're texting, and they really think they have a relationship with me. And I understand that, and I get that, and they're paying for that. But I do like to give them a bridge into the real world. I want to see you jump off from me. I want to be a jumping off point for you to I want to sit, and I want to hear about your dating experiences. I want to help you get out there. I just want to springbound you out there. So I don't know if that answers your question.
No, it did. And that was one of the things, because again, we try not to judge. And I've been in enough experiences and enough environments in my life that I know that I've got it wrong. So I try not to judge. But walking into a brothel, you can't help but judge, And one of the first things is there must be a sob story behind why you have to work here, or you have to have sex all day, or that kind of thing. The first thing that really smacked me was how educated, refined, articulate, and conversational the crew were in the Bunny Ranch. And then when I got talking to them, they were like, they can't, and as you've just said, guys come here to connect. They don't come here to have sex. They come here to connect. They come here for intimacy. They come here to not be judged for that fear of them being bashed down. And I remember that there were a few girls there saying that, sex is the last thing on their mind. They want to have a conversation. They want to have a connection. So you're now bridging that gap into like the therapy. Let's talk about the stigma. Because we're in a world where people love to shout out shit. They don't know what they're talking about. They're very naive. They're very ignorant. But the downside is that, they have a phone, and therefore they can make a rude comment. How do you handle the negativity surrounding your industry, and especially the Bunny Ranch?
Steve, I keep myself insulated. It's a scary world outside there. I mean, you're right. We're absolutely really nice. We're nice girls, really nice women, really big hearts. And you're just not going to find a better group of gals. And get outside of here, and people, they'll call us names or really look down on me. And I have never not been the one, as much as I've helped put the Bunny Ranch name on the map. I never defended my profession. I know what I do in a day is challenging and rewarding, and it's difficult, and it's an easy job. You can love it, but it's really, really hard too, because there's so many facets to it. But then you add the stigmatism, and it's really, really unfair, because I just don't see where we're doing anything evil. or negative, or just building people up, giving them their money's worth, and nobody's getting hurt. I mean, people are just, we're providing a service that's just like unlike any other. We just make people feel good. So I don't get it.
No, I don't. When I went there, I was met with your whole team, your girls, and I just met a bunch of confident young ladies. And it was, as I say, it was a shock. I didn't know what to expect. I tried to challenge my own prejudgment as I came up, but it was very rewarding. And I think one of the best speakeasies we ever did when we turned up there. We're in a world where there's this challenge for us to become more educated, become more accepting, become more woke, which is creating its own problems. But at the end of the day, it is the oldest profession in the planet. And whatever comes across, I don't see it going anywhere. So do you think that this is something that should be allowed to grow? Now, it's legal. We need to point out the Bunny Ranch, for anyone that's outside of America or don't even understand in America, in Reno, there's certain areas that is allowed a legal sex worker, a brothel. That's correct?
It goes like this, Steve. In the state of Nevada, we have certain counties that allow for legal brothels, and the action has to take place within the legal brothel. The ladies have to be licensed. We can't negotiate prices anywhere but inside our rooms, which are called our offices, which I'm in right now, and it's really nice. You can see. And so in counties where the population is over 200,000, no deal. So that leaves out Clark County, which is Las Vegas, and that leaves out Washoe County, which is Reno. So we're in the Lyon County. We're like 50 yards across Lyon County. Boom, there we are. So you're going to find the brothels in Lyon County, different counties, Story County. And so we actually have 4 here. Dennis procured all 4 brothels within Lyon County. So we have the Kit Kat, which is our sister brothel. We have the Sagebrush, which is our sister brothel. We have the Love Ranch, which is our sister brothel. And then we have the Mothership, Bunny Ranch. So we have all the brothels in Lyon County, and it's under the same management. We all have the same type of, and we're treated so well and so differently than some of the other counties. They all have different ordinances as to how we actually have to get our licenses and for a girl to get a license in Lyon County, it's more difficult for us to obtain that license. We have more stringent requirements than it is to become a police officer.
Wow.
Okay, so there's a lot of ordinances that go with it, and I forgot what your question was.
Well, I'm going to ask another one, so we'll stick on this one. I remember watching the program. I think it was an HBO program, wasn't it? It was on a major. Yeah, I thought so. I thought I remember seeing it on HBO. And I remember a lot of the program circled around Dennis, and Dennis was the man that basically was the dad of the family. And he kind of looked after it. And, of course, on the TV, he looked as though he had a lot of love. He looked as though he had a lot of respect from the girls. And he looked like a big-hearted guy. Now, hey-ho, that's TV. TV edits it any way you like. And I remember speaking with you, and we've had conversations, and with Alice Little, who at the time worked at the ranch, and some of the other ladies. And this was true. There was a real love and respect with Dennis. Now, Dennis passed away, what was it, like 5 years ago? When did he pass away?
2016. His birthday is actually in 2 days.
And that's one of the things. I was chatting with one of the ladies a while ago on a different subject. I knew her boyfriend, and we got talking about something. And his name was brought up again with such love and sadness that he had passed away. How has the Bunny Ranch, which, let's be serious, is probably the #1 brand within brothels in the planet.
Yes.
How has the Bunny Ranch been able to survive with the demise and the passing of Dennis?
Well, there's girls like me. Well, there's Suzette, who was #1. His right-hand man for 30 years. She ran all the day-to-day and kept the girls in line. And so that was already built in. And then we have such a high retention rate of ladies here. Most of the core group has been here 10 years or more. So we all still know Dennis's values and what he instilled in us in customer service and how he wanted his customers to be treated and how we were to aspire to be as business women and how to conduct our business and just carry on. And I carry that torch like a flame, like you can see it from Mars. Okay. We really carry that torch for Dennis because I worked at other brothels and I know that he put his blood, sweat, and tears into this. And he was the only brothel owner that was on property. He was in that parlor. He was promoting every day. It was a joy to give this man 50% of my money of what we make to do all the stuff that he did. He brought us with our help. We went from guilt and shame to glamour and fame, and we became really successful women, empowered women, business women, and anything that you wanted to bridge in between here or where you were going, or if you wanted to stay here like me and make a career. And we just have such a good core group of girls. And I honestly, it's really hard for me to leave to, I just want to carry that torch.
So we know the connection is tough. We know the guys are very scared to go and speak to ladies. When the gentleman comes along and he makes the payment, and there's that initial kind of, like, I suppose, hive of excitement because, well, what's going to happen? More than anything, the anticipation, the excitement, the adrenaline. And you get to, how do you calm down that person?
The way I calm someone down is I'm really down to earth, and I can relate to like all levels, and I can bring us down to a genuine, authentic space where there's nothing going on except that I have a real love and concern for you as a human being, and I want to give you the best time possible and have you walk out of here with more than you ever thought, that the most extraordinary experience you ever had in your life. And I just have a calming way about me. If I touch your hand, I put my hand on your shoulder, and I can get silly, I can get serious, I can change the emotion. And it's not something I really, really, really think about. I probably couldn't even put it in the bottle. It's just people skills. It's just being nice and kind and gentle, and really having a concern for that person as opposed to yourself. What can I add to this? Not can I get from it, but what can I give to it? And I'm just really cool. I'm a cool chick.
Yeah, I'll vouch for that. All right. So one of the things that you brought up there, which is imperative, which is people are losing today, and you can't download it on the App Store, is people skills. We went through COVID where we were all bitching that we couldn't connect with each other, when the truth of the fact is we were becoming really shit at it even before COVID. People skills has been a skill level that's been deteriorating over the years. I have a friend of mine whose wife is a police commissioner, and they say that when they bring the youngsters in, they have trouble making eye contact because 9 times out of 10, they're holding conversations while their eyes are still in their phone. And people skills is something that, quite simply, and it's in its bloody title, is a skill. And when we brought a bunch of guys, and we had 40 people, and I remember the bus pulling up to the Bunny Ranch because, of course, on my speakeasies, no one knows where they're going. So when we pulled up that lane and we suddenly see the big Bunny Ranch sign that we go under, and we're heading up to this beautifully multicolored building and all of the annexes around it, I had a lot of people in the bus going, oh shit, we're going to a brothel. And there was an immense amount of panic in there. And I think at the time I was heavy on like 55% girls. And I'm taking these women into a brothel, and I'm taking the guys into the brothel. And there was this real concern. And a few people actually touched me on the shoulder and said, Steve, this may be the stupidest thing you've ever done, and you girls came out and started to do this startling, ridiculous thing. You started to chat with us, and you had this conversation. You're like, hey, how you doing? Have you traveled in far? What were you doing this morning? And you had a conversation. And before we had got past, and there's a little window there, the hooker booker, I remember that. That was absolutely funny, where you make your payment and you pick your lady. There's a little desk, like you're parking your car or something. before we'd even entered into the premise, you had calmed everybody down. I think I met you later on, but it was Alice. I think I'd met you there quickly, but then you went off, and there were like about 2 or 3 other ladies that came out. But everyone was quickly calm. You had managed to calm down 40 high-level nervous entrepreneurs within seconds because you had that human connection skill. Do you practice that? Do you try to do anything with it? Is there any kind of training around it? Or is it all the girls come in and it's natural to them?
No, it's not natural, Steve, but I don't know if there's a training. I'm sorry, I'm a little lost for words. Lead by example.
Yeah.
And once you connect with we have a girl that's 18 years old and straight out, and not very many skills. She has phone skills, right? She has digital skills, right? And just engage. A smile and an interest, a compliment, an encouragement. And this is what I tell them: compliment, encourage, console, and I think that's it. Compliment, encourage, console. And there's a few rules you can go to, like you can do like that. You can to remember it, but it's mostly just be nice, connect, smile. What everyone, and when I tell the girls what everyone wants, what everyone wants when they walk through that door, no matter what, this is what they want. They want someone to be nice to them, and they want a good deal. And that's what you got to do.
Now,
and that's in sales, no matter what you're selling.
No, and that's the point. That's the point. We're in a society now where everyone is judging, everyone is cynical and skeptical, and they've got that guard up straight off the back. And again, we're down to hey, you see someone in the bar. A perfect example. I took my wife out for dinner last night. Okay, my wife is gorgeous. We've been married for 38 years. Love that woman, and she's 2 feet away from me. And I had to lean into the bar to ask for a cocktail menu, so we could order some drinks while we were waiting for our table. Now, there was a gap between a girl sitting on her own and a couple of guys. So I said, is anyone sitting here? And I said, I just need to get through. And the girl looked at me and quickly looked me up and down to judge me as to whether I thought she was as I was going to try and hit on her. She straight away was concerned. Now, I will admit I may not be Brad Pitt, but she came up with that straight off the bat. And that's sad. She could have easily gone, no one's sitting there. As it was, I just reached her and went, oh, thank you very much. But I said to Claire, I said, I think she thought I was trying to hit her. It was that nanosecond. We're too quick to judge.
Yeah.
People are traveling the world to come to your brothel to pay to connect. What does that say about society?
Well, society, like I said, I keep myself pretty insulated here. It depends on what you subject yourself to. I think if you're watching the news cycles that are dramatic and want to scare, they have to. And if you're watching social media, I think we have to remember that today people are selling extremes. Everybody wants, like everything has to be like a circus show now. An extreme this, an extreme that, extreme hate, extreme. So just remember that, the majority of people are in between that 10% over here and 10% over here. And most people are like you and I, and our neighbors and our communities and the places that we go, the grocery store, we talk to somebody, the bank, you talk to somebody. I mean, you make connections. I love my neighborhood. It takes me 30 minutes to get out of the grocery store because I'm saying hi to everybody and having conversations. And that's after I go shopping for my 4 protein bars. So it's a matter of remembering that don't be so fear-based. Don't be so fear-based and, like you said, quick to judge. But
yeah,
I mean, it's a scary world out there because we're taught. I mean, especially if you watch the ID channel, if you're watching crime TV all day, you're going to be scared. Yeah,
but it's scary. It's the bottom line of it is it's scarier when you're alone. Yeah. If there's 30, 40, 50, 200 of you, in fact, if you are a community And you just talked about your local grocery store. This is rhetorical, but I'm asking everyone that's listening to this show, ask yourself when you just struck up a conversation with someone in the grocery store. You know, a lot of people now will go there to do the shopping. They'll even go through the quick checkout where they scan themselves so they don't have to have that conversation.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time now, you can actually see when someone is stopped and they're going, hey, are you having a good time? Someone will go, yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Don't bother me. I'm just here to get my milk.
Yeah.
We need to get better at something because you're living proof that people are paying for a connection. People are paying for intimacy. And as you've already said, you've purchased other brothels. Is there more expansion or what's next for the Bunny Ranch over the next, 5 years?
Hopefully that we just keep getting better. We evolve. We just evolve with whatever is going on in society. We adapt, we improvise, and we survive. So hopefully, I'm hoping that Suzette will let us do another reality series. That's what I really, really, really want to do.
That would actually be good, especially in today's. Oh God, can you imagine the backlash? That I can imagine. The show I know would be cool. The show I think would be fun to watch. But I think watching everyone get all pissy about it would be even funnier.
Yeah.
Because there's so many people that aren't willing to have a conversation to understand, but are very vocal in their judgment first.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that gets in the way. Look, Amy, I've got to admit, you're cracking. I loved your book. You're just someone that's good. I'd love to crack a whiskey with you, but I hope you do well. Where is the best way for people to connect with you? Quite simply, I know you're big on social and stuff. How is the best way for people to kind of see what you're up to, see what you get involved in, or hey, if you want to go to the Bunny Ranch, where's the best place for them to visit?
If you want to go, just check out the Bunny Ranch site. Please go to bunnyranch.com. And we have a flavor for everyone. There's someone for everyone. Click on a picture and start a conversation with the girl. And we're gonna have a conversation with you. A lot of guys, they might take advantage of that situation, just have conversations with us, but that's part of the job. We love it. We just get out there, get yourself out there, go to bunnyranch.com. And then if you really want to even make more connections, we have a message board, a forum that you can join and get and talk to all the ladies at one time from all 4 houses in one spot. So you can that's a community that we have that we really like. And then I have airforceamy.com, of course, and sign up for my newsletter and follow me on social media, Instagram and Twitter and all those. So just keep and hope that we get another show, because that's what I really want to do.
Amy, we're going to push for that. That'd be cool. If you do get another show, or if you get anywhere near it, just let us know, and we'll obviously push it out on our socials as well. But you've been fun to chat with this morning. Look after yourself, and thanks for coming on the show.
Wait, Stephen, I want to tell you too that I've been writing my memoir, and it's really long. Because of my, I've been as old as I am. It's it's a saga at this point. Air Force Amy, so when the book is ready, I can come back and tell you about it, okay?
There you go. I wait for that. Amy, look after yourself. Thanks for being who you are.
Thank you. Thank you, Steve, so much. I love you.
Bye.
I love your listeners. Thank you. Bye.
Well, that was another episode of the Art of Making Things Happen podcast with me, your host, Steve Sims. If you like it, you know the scoop. Subscribe, tell your friends, share it around. Let them get benefit from this juice. And of course, if you want to change the room you're in, join Sims Distillery. Jump over to stevedsims.com/Sims Distillery, or you can find a link directly from that website. That's the room where creative disruptors get together to actually help each other become better. If you've got standards or you want higher standards, join the right room. See you next time.